Okay, today's Tuesday, February 11th. It is 6 o'clock, and we are calling the AOS 93 Central Office Board Meeting to order. Roll call, we have myself, Christian Coates, Wayne Parlin, Matt Benner, and Darren Carlucci in place of June Donenfeld. Everybody rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any adjustments to the agenda? Any public comment? There being none. We need to act on the minutes.
There were no minutes.
There were no minutes. Okay, we don't have to vote on the minutes from the June 22nd.
No, that was just that was your budget vote.
Okay.
We had those minutes that short meeting before.
Before at the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we,
We'll
those
have to
are,
approve those.
Hmm?
We'll have to approve those.
We approved them at the last meeting.
No, for the short meeting.
We
The
had
15-minute meeting.
Oh.
Public meeting.
right, where we
No, that was the one to push to this meeting, right? Wasn't that the one
No,
that?
Technically, yeah, but
basically we
we pushed it off because we didn't have the contract.
Right.
We did.
So
So actually, that's table.
I can go back and throw something together. It's just as tabled.
no, it's right here.
It's in there, but it's not in minute. It's not in the minute format.
Okay, good enough.
Is that good enough? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so communications, correspondences, none.
Keep going.
AOS 93 public budget meeting, January 22nd, 2025. I was not there.
Matt explained it last night.
Yeah, went just like I figured it would. They voted it back in, one position, which was still a cut of 30,000.
From the original budget. Yep.
So we're more or less back to close to the same dollar that we originally were.
Anything else we need to talk about in terms of that?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No.
It is what it is.
It is.
How was the staff?
As far as happy.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, yeah, I'm glad that we have what we have for staffing moving forward. Yeah. Anytime you have discussions about cutting positions, I mean, it's anxiety creating.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's always the fallout afterwards. Like, hey, you were going to cut me.
Well, I
Right.
haven't had any of that. so.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so superintendent's report.
I'll pass on to the whole business. I'm giving all my reports at the town budget meetings. So,
Okay.
I mean, town board meetings.
So we received this contract that was, from the agreement we made from the RFP and the negotiation thereafter to make sure that we got a couple terms in here that we wanted. And I went through what they sent me, and not everything was as I had discussed. So I went back and we did clarify everything, so it is as discussed now. So the important things that we have changed since we began to engage with them, I think it's section 2.2. It says here, AOS and AOS 93 contract will consult regularly regarding transportation requirements of AOS 93. In the event of changes in the number of students requiring transportation routes or schedule, the number of vehicles and square buses will be adjusted accordingly. With notice to the contractor, AOS 93 may modify service levels under this agreement. There's no deadline in there anymore. We got rid of that. If the fleet size is reduced from 10 buses to 9, rates will remain unchanged. However, any further reduction beyond 9 buses will permit the contractor to adjust rates proportionally to account for changes in cost structure. So that's the language that we requested and got in. And then under section 16, 16.8, these bullet points numbers 1 through 4 about the age and mileage of the vehicles are all what we've inserted to try to, based on different things I heard from different people. They were like, you should demand younger buses or they'll just give you the oldest ones they have. So we came up with these terms and they agreed to them. Other than that, I read through everything in here. It's very similar to the previous contract, and the price schedule at the back is what we agreed to when we accepted their bid. So I believe this contract is now ready to be signed. Well, first approved by the board and then signed.
So in section 2, does that mean the deadline that you guys used to have to tell them by? There is no deadline?
There's no deadline. We have to be in communication with them. We have to tell them what we're gonna do. And what we agreed verbally, which I didn't say, oh, put that in there, was that we'd let them know by April. But once they took it out,
Right.
why would I reinsert a deadline? Right?
Yep.
So, but I think it'd be fair to, I mean, I'm gonna be communicating with them because I mean, that's what it, you know, that's what it says. We'll communicate regularly with them and be in communication with them. So consult regularly regarding transportation requirements. So if we were to just come up and say, yeah, we don't need this tomorrow, and we had never given them any fair warning, they would, you know, have cause to say we should have been in communication. But as long as we're working with them, and I mean, we've been working with these people for a long time, and they have the same, Angela, you met with her recently. We have a good, strong communication rapport with them and a relationship, and I think the contract protects us very well.
Under 11.3, I'm not sure I really understood that 100% completely. What happens, I think it's 11.3, in the event of like the COVID, situation when the schools are closed, if we, did that last time, to be honest with you.
They were paid every. Yeah.
So,
They're paid for fixed costs when there's a closure.
seems like that, kind of tough to swallow. You're paying for a service you no longer need and are receiving to a certain degree. Do we know if they, because they got paid this, if they also took any?
I do know they paid their drivers.
Yeah.
The whole time. And I do know, at least in Noblesboro, they were delivering lunches door to door, which is a cost savings to them still. But I do know they were actually trying to do something.
Do we know if they, we probably don't have any way of knowing if they was taking any government grant money for not working? Because
You
I
look it
hate to
up.
see it be
I
a
don't
double
know.
dipping situation.
I don't know.
So I would be,
That would be pretty.
Well, we hope they were audited. I mean, we've been aggressively audited for all the federal funds that we have received, the ESSER funds and ARP funds, et cetera. And I don't have any further details on that.
There is a way to look them up. I mean, there's a website that says what everybody got from Nichols.
right.
And it is technically double dipping, but boy, if we talk about who double dipped, I mean, I can give you a list of miles that was making money while they were elected.
It's just tough to,
So,
yeah, see you're paying for a service that you're not gonna use. So.
I don't think there'll be many shutdowns, at least for the
No.
for at least 4 years of the 5-year contract.
Let's hope not.
maybe a point to bring up next time.
I was wondering how that all,
So this is for 3 years or 5 years?
well, I don't know how we change the wording on that.
Well, they do have these phrases in that excuse them. Right?
Like the force majeure?
Yeah. But what about excusing us? Like, they're not held responsible if there's an act of God that prevents them from driving, but what if there's an act of God that prevents us from letting our students get on the bus?
Well, this one here, I mean, this 11.3, this actually is what protects them from the COVID then.
Right.
It protects them.
Right.
Right, but it doesn't do anything for us.
Right.
Well, 10-1 too does
Was
as
this-
well, right?
Was this 11-3 in the original one as well?
You mean the 5 years ago
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
You can pull it up.
Usually 10-1.
Yeah, 10-1 says, you know,
Yeah, they
in the
both,
event of act of God, civil disturbance, fire, riot, war,
We-
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, 10-1 says we'll excuse them from having to do the work, and 11-3 says we'll pay them anyway. So
Oh,
the way I
okay.
read it.
Right, yeah, if it's
Yeah.
their fault, we excuse them, but if it's on our end, we gotta pay them. So that, you know, it's one or the other. It seems like it should be to me.
yeah, and 11-1 calls out illness as a reason to suspend student transportation from our end.
So on 11-3, the only stipulation that it's fixed cost, right? So technically fuel, it says average wage, doesn't say maintaining average employee wage and benefits. But like fixed costs included but not limited to. So that means repairs, see the maintenance thing, that's not a fixed cost if you're not running the bus. Same with fuel, your insurance is a fixed.
Yeah, include but not limited to.
Correct.
Once you put not limited to in there,
You're
the sky's the
open for
limit.
everything.
So. Fleet investment, maintenance, I mean, it's not running. It sounds like you're paying for the whole kit caboodle. Oh, but whatever they think the profit margin would be. And how are you gonna track what's the difference between these costs and their regular
Locked fixed.
Yeah.
Right.
rate?
Is there anywhere in the contract, Peter, that it kind of talks about the difference between the fixed costs?
No, I was actually looking at that myself, and I don't think they specify the difference between fixed costs and the only thing I think they have other than fixed costs is the fuel. But they don't really say, it's all included, so it's not separated. So we don't have a breakdown of anywhere here of fixed costs versus, costs that that are variable costs.
Is there actual business per student? Is that the corporate name?
Yeah, for student corporate.
Did you notice if there was a section before?
No, it's not, there are references to, in the event the contractor is not to provide the services herein specified because of any act of God, civil disturbance, the district shall excuse the contractor from its required performance on this contract, and no penalty, charge, or liquidated damages shall be imposed by the district. There's a penalty of $1,000 per day if the assessed against the contractor by the superintendent for each violation of rules. But I don't see anything as specific as you're gonna pay us anyway. is the excuse, you know?
So this is, that section 10.1 is basically
Came after
what you're
20.
reading.
Yeah.
What you're reading is basically the one that protects
Correct.
them, which is 10.1. This 11.3 is a brand new section,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And I don't like the way it's worded at all.
So just looking real quick, I didn't find him on the list.
You double dipping list?
Oh, yeah, you can look up every last billboard that took money. So if somebody tells you that doesn't. We're talking to them, seeing if they reword that.
Well, it
Yeah,
ought to be worded similar to what 10.1 is for them. I mean,
I don't mind going back and talking to them about that. I think it's a good thing to do. I think it's just due diligence. And I don't think they're in any hurry to sign this thing, and we're not gonna lose anything on it. We just
it
do
doesn't
it.
take effect till July 1 anyway. So.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get it wrapped up, but that, you can't have it both ways where they get out, no liabilities on anything that might happen on their end, but
And we can't.
something major happened on our end, like the COVID situation.
That's what I'm
And
thinking.
now we gotta pay.
Yeah, no, it makes total
You
sense to
know,
me.
pay them just like nothing happened.
And,
Right.
and it won't be COVID next time, it's something else. I mean, we
Right.
don't know the stuff that's gonna happen.
Right.
We could get some massive storm wipes out the peninsula, you know?
Sorry, Darren.
What's
I
that?
said it wipes out the peninsula. I said,
Yeah.
sorry, Darren.
But,
This section wasn't in there before. I'd lean towards either getting it out.
Or aligning it, or aligning the language
Well, I would
more
think,
with.
yeah, I think
aligning
I'd
it
talk
more
to,
with theirs. Exactly.
I think I'd talk to lawyers and see if we can get one that protects us. Because this is still protecting them. It's not
well,
protecting
what I
us.
didn't do here, you can ask me to do, I'm trying not to spend money where we don't need to, I mean, especially AOS money, because we're the smallest, tiniest budget that runs on the thinnest reserve, you know, and we're actually like, this is the time of year where we really kind of go through a little dip in how fast the cash is moving. So I'm not trying to spend money around here at all. I did not send this to Drummond Woodson and say, read this and bill me $1,000.
I
You
don't
know?
think we need to do that really. I think you and Todd have good enough judgment to understand what.
Like I said, either put it in line with 10.1 or. rip it
I'm just
out.
wondering if you can't merge 10.1 and to cover both parties.
Right.
Some language, tweak the language so it covers
You'd
both.
have to tweak some of this
Yep.
language from below.
Yep.
to up.
Take 11,
Eliminate the language below.
we'll take 11.3 right out and make 10.1 applicable to both parties.
Right.
Basically, 10.1 just says the contract is, suspended until.
In event the contractor or consumer.
Yeah.
Slash, that might be the easy, quick fix, as quick as that.
Well, you might want to add.
I didn't go through the whole
I
thing.
guess the events,
Could apply to.
yeah, just make sure all the events are. Which I guess they probably would be. Where you would be to, yeah. That was all I saw that I was questioning on.
It does say here, this language, Christian, right in that language, it says fixed costs for the purposes, in 11.3,
Yeah,
for purposes of this agreement, fixed costs include, like you said, but not limited to these things.
yeah.
But I can't think anything other than fuel that isn't in there.
Right.
You know, they couldn't think of it either.
Well, they put maintenance in there. How do you have
Yeah.
any maintenance when the bus is apart?
Fleet
Exactly.
investment.
Right.
What's that mean?
I mean, all those things.
Keep on lubricating.
Right, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that.
Yeah. All right, I will get back, so I can do this. Like, I can do this tonight, right? I can just send them an email and say, we gotta deal with this, let's talk tomorrow or something. When do you want to, you have these meetings monthly on the calendar.
Why don't you just, please, if everybody's all right with it, why don't you just do what you can with this?
Yeah.
Send it out to us. I'd make, we can give Todd the okay to
Yeah.
move forward with it.
The other thing is we gotta be cautious doing board business in private.
No, you make a motion tonight that authorizes you to
As long as the language is
finalized this
cleaned
language.
If you say that here, make a motion, that's fine.
Yeah.
But sending it out and then you coming back saying, okay, this looks good, go ahead and sign it, that's problematic.
Once you give them the authorization, you don't get a second chance to read it.
Right.
So you got a meeting on the calendar for like 3 weeks. from now.
March 5th.
And that could be a virtual meeting or something.
They gotta have policy to have
Okay,
virtual
I
meeting.
don't wanna get into it.
So March 5th, we got one on the books.
Well, that's that, if you go to new business on the agenda, that's, remember I've changed all the meetings around.
March 5th is
Um,
like
These
tomorrow.
are,
It's 2 weeks, right?
today's February. Yeah, it's it's gonna be the first Wednesday of each month.
Okay, so it's 3 weeks.
Because we're doing Tuesdays, and what Matt's referencing is I gave him Bristol's on their agenda. I had Bristol's cut and pasted. The problem we run into, just so you'll know, is it okay to just jump ahead to this for a second? Those meetings conflict with Great Salt Bay's meetings, but I don't foresee us really interacting with them moving forward. And if something drastic comes up and we have to meet as a complete AOS, we would just adjust the calendar. So those meetings, just so you know, the first Wednesday of each month.
Yeah.
And
There's only
after
4
this, I
left,
probably
right?
don't see
Yeah,
us.
only 4 months.
Yep. I ran it through 2025, so I ran it all the way through
But
December.
there's
But
only 4 that would include GSB.
correct.
And they are moving ahead with that. There's been no
Oh, yeah.
no roadblocks.
Oh, they've
to
already
that
got there. Lindsay's got her
process.
letterhead with Union RSU 48 or whatever it is and everything.
So do we want to make a motion to approve this contract with?
I think we're
No.
gonna meet March 5th. We
I
don't-
just wait till
I
March 5th.
don't think you have to do any motion. You
Because
just,
by the time they
just-
get reworked
yeah.
up, we're gonna be back.
All right, that's fine.
so do you want me to capture minutes for this, that we tabled it, or do you think that's necessary? You just want me to write it in the minutes somehow? How would you like it? I mean, this is a special one too, yeah. I can do it.
I guess it is a special board meeting, yeah, I guess we probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can throw it together.
So the discussion around the force majeure language.
Yeah.
And we were asked to renegotiate all the
Yep.
language around closures.
So that we're protected, so that the AOS.
So the AOS is protected.
So we'll revisit the language around closures.
Yeah.
You want to give me the section?
Section 10 and 11.
Yeah, 10-1 and 11-3, basically.
Closure 10-1. Section 10-1.
The force major language is right down in 11-3, although it's under school codes.
11.3.
Yeah.
Things like that.
And if that's new language, they should expect some conversation about it. When does this group, just looking at, as someone just mentioned, that we only have 4 meetings left, when does this group, when's is it every year that the composition of this group is determined by local boards?
Yeah,
So
So
what,
ours is gonna be,
April-ish?
no, March.
Oh, so when we do our agenda setting, is
Yeah,
it everybody in
because we
March?
vote in new members, March 15th,
Okay.
or March, yeah.
So that's still
March
gonna be on
14th.
your meeting, even though you don't have the school budget on your meeting?
Well, yeah, because that's a town warrant. So those are votable items, people. That doesn't have anything to do with the school budget.
Right.
So all like selectmen and everything like that is the same time, whether the budget's on that time. So we vote on the 14th, and then of course the 15th is when you.
Is that what you do?
Usually in Jefferson, the town meeting is like the end of March. A new school board member would have to get down and get sworn right in so they can show up the first Monday in April,
And
which
that's what this
typically is, and then usually that first meeting in April, we elect all new
Okay.
board chairs.
So,
We used to do it in April, but of course now that our meeting's pushed
Yep.
back, it's gonna be beyond that. So we'll be doing it at that.
or a little
time.
earlier, okay.
Because, yeah, because we'll have, well, there's 3 of us that either reelected a new seat
Oh, okay.
this year.
Oh, there's 3 of you, all right.
Yeah, just 3, because we had some resignations and.
we're on, our town meeting's on March 11th, which is when they swear in the new people.
So
And
March,
We'll have had our school board meeting
Yeah.
before then, so we won't make that decision
till
until
April.
April.
So yeah, right now it's March 3rd would be South Bristol. The 11th of March would be Jefferson. The 18th of March would be Noblesboro, and the 25th would be Bristol. If you go, those are
Yeah.
meetings. So if you go into April to do it, you'd be looking at South Bristol on the 1st of April, Jefferson on the 8th of April, Noblesboro on the 15th of April, and Bristol on the 29th.
So we won't have new people, an entirely new group until May.
What seats are up in South Bristol?
None.
You don't know?
None.
Oh,
No,
none?
none.
I don't think so.
There's not at least one every year? That's an oddity.
Yeah, I haven't heard any talk about it.
No, I haven't either.
We
So
have one seat up in South Bristol, in Bristol, right?
Two seats in
Two
Bristol.
seats in Bristol.
To adjust.
June and who? Emil?
June and Mary.
Mary Ann.
Ann, of course.
Yep.
You sure there's not a seat?
no, I'm not sure, but
I think Bruce.
but we have
Somebody should run for it.
but we have.
Somebody doesn't know they're coming
Did
on.
somebody not pull nomination?
Well, I guess maybe Sandy.
Well, that's what I would think.
She's running again. I think she's taking out
Sandy-
papers.
Okay, so
I think she's
right.
taking out
Then
papers.
she-
to run again.
yeah, she'll run unopposed. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 3 this year, which is not, we do 2 this year. We do 2, 2, and 1.
That's it?
That's what we do.
So,
Yeah, I think
Yeah, because
I think I heard
Sandy
her.
was there before I was,
Yep.
and I've been there too. I would go next year. So
I think I heard her say she would take out papers.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter as far as these meetings go. whatever.
No, I'm just wondering who's going to be elected to the moving forward.
I don't see much changes in Jefferson, to be honest with you.
I don't see many changes. We'll have one new board member.
Who's coming off? Well, who's
Holly.
she's not running again?
No, she didn't pull papers. So we have 2 people that pulled papers. We'll see which one. 2 people that pull papers for an open seat. And then me and my
If you wanna-
board pull papers.
If you want to get over,
guys have to run
if you want to
again.
get over to Lincoln Academy, you can.
no, I was texting my wife, and she apparently all the women in the house are in the thing, so we're not going to the orientation tonight.
Christian had asked about got a freshman going into Lincoln Academy tonight's orientation.
Oh, so they must have signed up for classes or signing up for them.
Yeah, but apparently they don't
Remember we're
you know,
recording.
it's like a middle school daughter versus middle school mom argument going on.
Oh, okay.
This is all.
This is being recorded, by the way. Just
Okay, so if there's no further business, we saw everybody sees the calendar. The next meeting of this group will be on March 5th. Here.
sure. I don't see this
Sure.
being a big turnout.
So, without objection, the board vice chair declares the meeting adjourned at
6:27.
6:27.
That clock might be a little fast.
Thank you all for coming.
Yeah. Yeah, especially this.